Today, I'll be showing you my 4 methods of filtration in my reef tank. So let's get into it. Hey you everyone, welcome back to another video by Reef. We are back with the Red Sea REEFER NANO, and today we'll be completing the 2-part series on reef tank filtration. So in the previous tank update, I showed you guys the 3 forms of filtration that I'm using, which is in the display tank. And today, I'll bring you through the other 4 filtration methods, and they are all within my sump. The first filtration method is a mechanical filtration, and that is I'm using filter floss. So I change the filter floss about every 3 weeks, or when it starts to overflow. It's really simple. I take out the filter floss, I just replace it with new filter floss. The positive of the poor design of this Red Sea reefer is that when it starts to overflow, it gives a random, really loud water flow sound, as the water flow no longer flows through the filter floss, but actually straight over the top in this area and into the sump. So that's usually a signal for me to do my maintenance and change my filter floss. Recently, I also started using filter floss over filter pads, as I realized that filter floss was just able to fill the cup better, and I can cover the cup more easily than using filter pad. So the only drawback to that is that it requires more maintenance on my end, but that seems to be a good thing because it means my filter is cleaning my tank better. So the next filtration method is actually a mini Refugium that I have going. So I'm using keto as my microalgae, and I run it when my display tank lights actually go off. So I run this mainly because I actually want a more natural way to reduce my nutrients, and also I want the pH benefits of running a Refugium. So when you run the Refugium of the opposite time as your display tank, the macroalgae actually produces more oxygen, which helps to calibrate your pH. So currently it's running a little too well because my nutrients are almost undetectable, and by nutrients I mean my phosphates and nitrates. So I have actually been having to feed more heavily and remove some of the macroalgae, and also for my Refugium light I have to keep the time slightly lower. So I'll share more about this in the next video. So I think part of the reason why my nutrients are also so low is largely because of this Tunzi LED EcoChic Refugium light. So honestly, this light is such a beast. I can't tell you enough of how well it grows the macroalgae. And on top of that, it is underwater, so it can function underwater, and it prevents salt creep and light spillage. They are actually common problems among other Refugium lights. Okay, so if you've been paying attention in my Refugium, you also see that I have some bio blocks, and I'm actually using biological filtration as well. So before I show you that, let me show you some biomedia that I brought over from my established tank to cycle this tank. So this right here actually holds some of my biological filtration. So the blocks as well, right here, this holds some of my biological filtration as well. So this is the Max Spec Nanotech bio blocks, and as you can see, what I did was that I glued 3 of them together, and they serve multiple purpose, which is of course firstly is to host beneficial bacteria because of the material of the blocks, but more than that, it actually keeps my Cheto in place and prevents them from flowing into the other parts of my sump. And on top of that, it prevents the light spillage from the light of my Refugium into my protein skimmer. The danger of having light spillage to your protein skimmer is that the protein skimmer may start to grow algae, and that's a pain to clean and maintain. And also, I'm also using this method because the sump is really small on this tank, and I don't really have space for a full-fledged Refugium. The last filtration method, which you can see at the back, this right here is my protein skimmer. If you have watched my previous videos, you will know that this is the Naya's Quantum 120. Honestly, I'm still trying to dial in the skimmer, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't blame the skimmer for not working well, but more of the user issue, which aka is me. But I'm getting a better skimmer in the past few weeks, so I think we are kind of getting there. I'll be revealing the skimmer maybe after a couple of months to let you guys know what I think about it. So in summary, I have 4 different methods of filtration: my mechanical filtration, my mini Refugium, my biological filtration, as well as my protein skimmer. And that helps me to manage my nutrients and remove organics. With that, I think I will wrap up my video right here. I'll be sharing some of my struggles with my phosphates and nitrates, which is quite a surprise to me. I'm not having high phosphates or nitrates, I'm actually having too low phosphates and nitrates. And I'll be sharing that probably in my next video. So thank you for watching. If you do enjoy the video, do consider subscribing to this channel to follow my journey. Till next time, see ya!